Now I just published the page. I'm going to reload it now in Google Chrome, and then make sure that I change the view to portrait mode, and let's inspect everything one more time. You can't scroll to the right. This all looks good. And as you can also see in the preview on Webflow, these tiles would expand because we hovered over them. But obviously on a mobile phone, you can't really hover because as soon as you press on something, you press. So there is no hover mode on mobile phones. And that's, again, an issue with Webflow that they are displaying incorrectly. Let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to scroll to our homepage and then hover over our tiles. With the mouse, obviously that works on a computer. However, if you're using your fingers, there's no hover mode. You can't hover with your fingers, so these tiles won't actually increase on our mobile phone. So again, that's why it's good to test with Google Chrome as well, or with your mobile phone. And generally, I think there's sometimes a bit too much white space. This looks a bit odd, but I think we can leave it for the moment. Maybe we can find a better fix because this text really varies in length, and we should probably set a guide to make sure that the text always has a minimum length and a maximum length, and we can set that in the CMS, but that's something to that we don't need to do necessarily, but I think that would fix this white space problem here. Also, I think we can create some little bit of padding here in the footer because I don't like how much this text is hitting the margins of our phone. Let's inspect some of the other pages. I'm going to go to our blog. Again, you see there's so much white space here, and that really varies depending on the length of the summary text. So in order to fix this, probably the best thing is to set a fixed length for the summary text within a certain character range, and make sure that once you publish a post, that the summary text also has a decent length in order to remove this white space issue. There we go. I think these images look all fine. All right. So let's first of all fix the footer. I'm going to go into the footer element and give this footer text a bit of padding. Let's just inspect it also. I think we can also give it padding here in the landscape mode. So let's make sure that we give it. And that should affect the portrait mode as well. And the other thing, as we said, we want to make sure that every blog post has about the same summary length. And in order to change that, I'm going to go to the CMS, then make sure that I select our CMS collection blog post, and then hit the summary, click on edit, and you can say that there is a minimum length of a certain amount of characters, and let's say we want to have a minimum length of 300 characters and a maximum length of 400 characters. That is a good range, so that, I mean, sometimes you want to have a bit more characters, sometimes a bit less. It really depends on what you write, but that they all more or less have the same length. And that should then fix our white space issue. Now let's inspect all the blog posts. So as you can see, this one is only 152 characters long. So in order to fix this quickly, I'm just going to copy and paste this to make it double as long. And I'm going to copy and paste this last sentence. Here, this is as well. So now we can test how it looks like with almost 400 characters. And I'm going to repeat the same exercise here. All right. Now let's publish everything again. And I'm already noticing that here we need to definitely increase the size slightly. But let's go from the top down. Let's make this 480 pixels so that this text still fits in. And then we need to increase this text size. And as you can see, now we have maybe a bit, 400 characters was maybe a bit too much. Let's edit this and reduce the summary to 350 characters. All right, this should all work now. Yep. Okay, and now we can see we have a bit of white space sometimes, depending if it really is a bit shorter, but it already looks a lot better than it used to look before. And maybe we can we definitely need to increase this still a bit in size. Let's make this 420 pixels, 150 pixels. There we go. And again, we need to increase the size here. Let's check the biggest one. There we go. 550 pixels. There we go. That should fix everything. Let's publish again. And inspect. And I think this looks a lot better already. Again, the white space is always, there's always some white space, but I think it's definitely less white space than we had before. Now let's make sure that we have fixed these settings as well for our block. And here, as you can see on Google Chrome, it looks good. On the Webflow preview, there is some space here. But I think this should work fine now. All right.